Test results revealed for the sick passengers aboard the Grand Princess cruise ship floating off the coast of San Francisco.
21 people on board the Grand Princess tested positive for the virus, 19 members of the crew. Many of the passengers didn't even learn about the results until we did.
Those passengers on the same cruise ship as the Rockland man who died this week. Tonight, frustration in his neighborhood after a decision to keep the man's name secret.
You're doing more to protect a deceased person's privacy than you are to protect the public health and safety. I don't think you're doing your job, ma'am.
This all comes after a public health order in that neighborhood. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Lopez.
And I'm Julie Watts. CBS 13's Marissa Perlman joins us live now, and she has been digging into this all day. Hi, Marissa.
Hey guys, how are you? Yeah, law enforcement once again took over that Rockland neighborhood last night. They say because of a Placer County health officer's order, but still a lot of mystery about that. We learned it is the same street as the 71-year-old man who passed away from coronavirus. It's the same street he lived on. Now, neighbors saw helicopters and law enforcement in their neighborhood late last night. They were left with a lot of questions about who this man was and why law enforcement were there and if they too were in danger.
You're doing more to protect a deceased person's privacy than you are to protect the public health and safety. I don't think you're doing your job, ma'am. Period.
So tonight we're getting some answers from leaders with the health office here. The sheriff's office, though, tells us that this is unprecedented. It never has the coroner's office, which, in case you're not aware, is run through the sheriff's department, has been asked to hold someone's name back from being released. But now public health is telling me tonight they're not preventing the release of that name, but their office is also not providing that information, guys.
Yeah, Marissa, just so strange. We've seen cops converge on a neighborhood for so many reasons, but a health order, talk to us about that. What is a health order exactly? Is it to keep someone quarantined?
Yeah, so we asked the health officer, or her department rather, about that and why why law enforcement was in that neighborhood last night. Now, the public information officer essentially could only point me to two sections of the California Health Code, which essentially talks about the responsibilities of the health officer, which includes investigating the spread of a virus. That includes putting in place isolation protocols and quarantine protocols. But again, didn't really answer my question about why law enforcement was in that neighborhood last night.
You know, Marissa, bottom line, the public has a right to know who this person is. Once a person's deceased, legally, they no longer have a right to privacy. And a lot of folks want to know for their own health reasons, right? So are they giving any legal reason for withholding the name at this point?
Well, in response to that question, which we asked early this morning, the press officer essentially could only point us to HIPAA, which is, of course, medical code through the federal government. But once again, that did not answer our question, guys.
Yeah, that wouldn't necessarily apply in this case.
Wow.
All right. Well, thank you, Marissa. We appreciate you digging on this. And this, of course, comes as the virus continues to spread in California. There are now 69 confirmed cases in our state. Yolo County announced its first case today, one that's community spread. And 3 new cases were announced in both Placer County and Contra Costa County. As for the case in Placer, all 3 of them were on the same cruise ship at the same time as the Rockland man who died.